Hello, beautiful ones. Happy Lionsgate. It is August 8th, the 8-8 Lionsgate portal. We're right in the heart of it now. What in the world is the Lionsgate? Well, it is a cosmic alignment between the sun in the sign of Leo. I've got my lion earrings on. It's also an alignment with the star of Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, and the first star in Orion's belt. And why is this important to us? Well, the Egyptians consider it their new year because it was such a critical time in their calendar for truly a transformation and a rebirth cycle. And that's what this portal is all about from an energetic and spiritual perspective. It's all about transformation and manifestation. And when you think about a portal, you think of being in the in-between, which is where we are in this energy. We're no longer in the past, but we're also not yet where we're headed. We are truly in like the birth canal, the squeeze point of the old energy and the new. And this portal brings us every year this opportunity to reflect on what do we want to leave behind? What is the skin that we want to shed? What is calling to be released within our energy, within our thoughts, within our patterns and experiences? And what in the heck do we want to bring in its place? What do we want to call forward? What do we want to embody? What do we want to integrate and create with as we transform and step further into manifestation? So that's the Lionsgate. And as I was working with this energy this week, and I was working with students and clients, I pulled a really powerful card spread that I've shared within my groups, and I wanted to share with you as well. And it's a card spread I do every day for myself, and I've shared many times within my community as well. But it's 4 cards. It's an angel card that really comes in with a theme related to guidance and transformation and growth and what's really pertinent in the energy right now. The second card is related to a divine master or archangel who wants to come forward with a lesson and with support on this message. And then the other 2 cards are related to a soul lesson, so something that is asking to be learned or worked through or left behind and grown through. And then when that happens, we have the activation card, the lesson or the thing that comes about as we move through a transitional phase and what we can now bring in. So I could not have been more thrilled and excited and also like dumbfounded when I saw this card pull related to the Lionsgate because it is so perfect for all of this energy. And so I'm going to share it with you. The very first card in the spread is from the Angel Deck, and it is the angels inviting us to step into our courage and our bravery, which, first of all, the imagery of this card, every time I pull it, I always think of Joan of Arc. This is such a Joan of Arc, warrior woman energy. And when you think about courage and bravery, simply related to the Lionsgate, think about the lion. When you think about the animal kingdom and you think about bravery and courage, the lion is who you think of. So the fact that this card came up is so perfect. And here's what I feel into with this card, especially as a message from the angels. So first of all, when we are in a transformation phase, when we're in a phase of reflection where we are truly looking within and we're looking at the self and we're looking to clean up what no longer serves and what's calling to be released, that does take courage. It does take bravery because it's much easier to sit with what already exists within our comfort zone to not do the work than it is to actually do the work to create change. That's why so many of us stay with what we already know. It's easier to do that. But as the adage says, it may not be easy, but it's worth it, right? So the angels are saying it's time to step up. It's time to do those reflections. It's time to do those releases. And you don't have to do it alone. Utilize your angels. Utilize the support of the divine in whatever realms that you connect with. Know that you're always divinely supported, that your bravery and courage can hold you. And when you're not feeling brave and you're not feeling courageous, you can call in support, call in protection. You don't have to do the warrior work. You're already protected. You have the space to go in and to do this type of work and you'll be okay. So I love that the angels come in with that. The second card related to the divine masters is the Orion card. This is my favorite card in the whole deck, by the way. I love this one. And given the Lionsgate, could this be any more perfect when we know that Orion's belt is so critical here for the manifestation piece and related to this particular portal, right? So the card is the manifestation vortex. Focus your energy with unwavering faith to manifest the outcome you require. And as I mentioned with the Lion's Gate, it's about transformation and manifestation. Well, we manifest all the time, whether we know it or not, whether we like it or not, we're always manifesting. The problem lies in that a lot of times when we're not aware of our energy and our frequency and our vibration, we're manifesting from a place that's more dense. Maybe it's from fear, maybe it's from scarcity, maybe it's from shame or lack. And that's the station that our radio is dialed to. And therefore, as we co-create our reality, as we turn on the TV to that channel, what we see is usually not what we want, okay? So when we can be conscious of this and we can tune our station to something else, when we can raise our vibration, raise our frequency by releasing those denser emotions, those thought patterns, those ways of being that no longer serve us, then we can manifest from truly the place we want to, which is going to get us the outcome that we want from that higher vibrational frequency. So call on Orion to support you in your manifestation, and specifically in dialing your radio station or tuning in your TV channel to that frequency of gratitude, the frequency of compassion, of love, of joy, so that manifestation comes from that place and not from those dense scarcity and fear frequencies that so many of us get stuck in. When it comes to the soul lesson, what is calling to be released? Judgment. Okay, judgment is a big one. It is such a dense experience because where there's judgment, there is right and wrong. There's duality, right? There's good and bad, okay? And so judgment can get us into trouble. It can get us into trouble as we judge ourselves. It can get us into trouble as we judge others because it assigns value to every single thing. And that in itself causes our frequency to go up and down, up and down. So this card says, the lesson here is, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. And when we can go with that understanding, it allows us to free off that layer of judgment, knowing that if everyone has a path and purpose, and whether we understand it or whether we agree with it or whether we would choose it, doesn't change that in any way, shape, or form. And that can allow us to step back from judgment and just into divine trust and acceptance. When we do that, we get to activate the frequency of freedom. What better thing, when we leave behind judgment, what better thing to call in than freedom? It's so freeing to not have the burden of judgment all the time, isn't it? So this card says, I realize my wounds create doubt, resentment, and guilt. So I work to free myself of darkness. I cast off negative thoughts, find peace in my heart, and discover the being of light within me. And as you look at that card, you can just allow it to sort of activate within your system, to allow this code of freedom to sink in as we actively choose, again, to leave behind these things that no longer serve, that are weighing us down, that are keeping us anchored in old realities that we no longer want to experience, we no longer want to magnetize to ourselves, we no longer want to play with and co-create with. I also love when I draw cards and the spread coordinates in terms of the color, which all of these do. And notice the themes with the colors are these golds, which is that very sun energy, very solar, very fire sign, very Leo energy that comes in to transmute all this old junk within the system. And then this really beautiful, bold blue purple color that we associate with these higher chakras, the third eye and the crown, which allow us this deeper level of seeing and knowing and understanding, and the ability to also connect up to our spiritual support, our higher knowing, our higher self, all the things that we want to use as our tools of guidance, rather than some of the ways that we have been doing that from this old way. So I hope that this reading supports you. I hope that you find the portal of the Lion's Gate an opportunity to really step into your personal power, in courage, in bravery, to do the work of leaving behind what no longer serves and really spend the time reflecting on what it is you desire to bring into your life. What are the frequencies you want to hold within your nervous system and within your body? And if there's any way that I can support you moving forward, please let me know. Best wishes to you, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.